It was December, and my now 26 and 29-year-old daughters were 3 and 5 years old, and we were at the shopping mall, and it was decorated for Christmas, and there was this great big Christmas tree in the center of the mall, and guess who was sitting next to the Christmas tree? You got it, the man in red with the white trim, Santa Claus. And my 5-year-old turned to me and she said, Mommy, can I sit on Santa's knee? And I said, Of course you can, honey. But remember, we don't celebrate Christmas because we're Jewish and Santa probably won't be coming to our house. That's okay. I love Santa. I think he's so nice and so wonderful. And so my 5-year-old sat on Santa's knee and she said, Santa, I was wondering if you'd come to our house and help us light our Hanukkah menorah. We're Jewish. And Santa looked down and he said, well, little girl, I would love to come, but I'm pretty busy this time of year. Oh, Mommy, I think Santa is so wonderful. At that moment, I grew very jealous, not of my daughter, but of Santa Claus. I started thinking to myself, I wish I could be Santa, but no one would ever hire a middle-aged Jewish woman to be Santa Claus. But I put it on my bucket list, nonetheless, becoming Santa. And then, just a couple days later, my wish came true. My neighbor Judy was going out of town, and she asked me if I could come to her house to water her plants. And so I went over to her plants, and she reminded me how much she hated watering them. Oh, I didn't buy a single one of these plants. They were all gifts. Oh, well, you can take care of the plants because I know you like them. And then I have a little favor to ask you. All the Christmas presents are in the closet here. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking out all the presents and putting them in the under the Christmas tree because we will be returning on Christmas Day and I want the kids to know that Santa did not forget them. Get it? Ha ha. You get to be Santa Claus. And I thought, wow, my wish is coming true. And so I took care of all of her plants and then I took the presents out of the closet. I put them under the Christmas tree and I thought, I should take this job more seriously. And so I took out a pen and paper and I wrote each of the kids a Santa letter. Dear Noah, you made it to the nice list. I'm so excited to see you here. I hear that you're quite the soccer player. Keep up the good work. And by the way, would you mind helping your mom water the plants? Love, Santa. And then I enclosed a little bell from Santa's sleigh. And then I wrote a letter to his sister, Dear Kit. Ha, once again on the nice list, just as I expected. Keep up the good work at school, all A's. And help your family around the house. Maybe you can help your dad hang the Christmas lights. They're a little crooked this year. Love, Santa. And I included a ribbon from one of the reindeers. The next day, I saw Judy walking down the street and she gave me a wink, wink. The kids love the Santa letters. Will you do it again next year? Of course. So the next year, I got a manila envelope on my front porch with all sorts of activities that her kids were participating in. She asked me for 2 Santa letters, and I dutifully wrote those letters, including a few more gifts from the North Pole, like a little more ribbon and a few more bells, and some dripping water that came from the icicles. And then I reminded Noah to please help his mom with the plants, and I reminded Kit to please help her dad with the Christmas lights. As the years went on, every year I received that manila envelope on my front porch. But our kids no longer played with each other. We had drifted apart as neighbors. And you may be wondering, why did I continue writing these letters? For me, it was more important to keep the spirit of Christmas alive than to focus on the rift that can happen between neighbors. And so I dutifully wrote those letters for 6 years until one Christmas the manila envelope wasn't there anymore. Well, I could check off that box on my bucket list. Becoming Santa came true. And then a couple of years ago, I ran into Noah right around Christmas time. He said, Thank you for those beautiful letters from Santa. My mom told me it was you. And, I believed in Santa Claus far longer than any of my friends because the letters weren't in my parents' handwriting. Every Christmas time, I look at those letters and I keep that spirit of Christmas alive in my heart. Well, my story doesn't end here because just a couple of days ago, I was walking down the street and there was Noah. He had moved back in with his parents. Why? Because he has gone back to school and he wants to save some money. He's now 26 years old. And guess what job he has? He's working at a nursery and he's studying to become an arborist. I am so delighted that all those years I was able to be Santa Claus. Every December for me is a December to remember. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.